The Iran war may have exposed new cracks in one of America's closest and most enduring alliances. The White House is now acknowledging a growing trust deficit with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. After the Iran conflict, Netanyahu's gamble appears to have backfired as President Trump now wants proof before backing any new move. Following the setbacks in Iran, Israel is also watching America's NATO ally Turkey with growing concern. Differences between President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu have resurfaced over the Iran war. A senior Trump administration official told Axios that Netanyahu's promises during the conflict didn't come to pass. The official said Washington will continue verifying Netanyahu's claims instead of accepting them at face value. A senior Trump administration official said, and I quote, "Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had made a bunch of promises about the Iran war that didn't come to pass. But what can we do? He'll come. He'll make his promises and then we'll have to check everything out." Unquote. The remarks suggest growing frustration inside the White House over Israel's handling of the Iran conflict. The report comes as questions grow over the future of U.S. Israel coordination after the war. Netanyahu has reportedly urged President Trump not to approve the sale of advanced American weapons to Turkey. The Israeli Prime Minister also raised concerns over Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's repeated anti-Israel statements. Netanyahu warned that modernizing Turkey's air force could alter the military balance across the region. The request comes as Ankara pushes to rejoin the US-led F-35 fighter jet program. The Trump administration has notified Congress of a proposed $700 million sale of F-110 jet engines to Turkey, marking a major step in powering Ankara's new Ka-10 fighter program. The package reportedly includes dozens of GE F-110 engines intended for Turkey's Kon fighter jet, enabling prototype testing and the first production batches. U.S. concerns over Turkey's Russian-made S-400 air defense system persist, but the engine deal is still being pushed forward despite this long-standing friction. Reports say around 80 F-110 engines are required to support Kon flight testing and initial low-rate production before Turkey's own power plant is ready. Ankara plans eventually to replace the US-made F-110 with its indigenous TF-35000 engine, underscoring its goal of strategic autonomy in combat aviation. Under US law, Congress now has 15 days to block the sale through a joint resolution of disapproval if opposition coalesces. Several Democratic lawmakers have already vowed to oppose the engine package, citing security and sanctions concerns over Turkey's S-400 acquisition. The US previously sanctioned Turkey after its 2019 purchase of the Russian S-400 system, arguing the deal compromised NATO air defense interoperability. Washington also removed Ankara from the F-35 program, canceling Turkish participation and aircraft deliveries because of the same S-400 issue. US Vice President J.D. Vance has said the administration is reviewing whether Turkey could ever regain eligibility for the F-35 program, leaving that door only partially open. At the same time, Trump has hinted he may take steps that would make Turkey very happy, suggesting further incentives or defense cooperation could follow. The F-1110 notification comes just ahead of a NATO summit scheduled for July 2026 in Ankara, where alliance defense and industrial ties will be in the spotlight. Spain has reportedly held preliminary talks with Turkey over possible Kon fighter purchase, indicating early export interest in Ankara's next-generation jet. This engine move also lands amid fraying U.S. Israel ties and a period of sharp rhetoric from Turkey toward Prime Minister Netanyahu, adding a complex political backdrop to the deal. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has sharply criticized Israel amid escalating conflicts across the Middle East. A key U.S. and NATO ally has warned that Israel's actions risk further increasing regional instability. In a televised address, Erdogan raised concerns over developments involving Israel, Cyprus, Syria, and Lebanon as regional tensions continue to grow.
Distinguished members of Parliament, dear companions on this journey, unfortunately, crises and wars continue one after another in our region. From Gaza to Lebanon, wherever we turn our attention, we encounter the cries of the oppressed that tear at our hearts. Since the day it was established, Israel has continuously functioned as a force threatening peace, stability, prosperity, and security in our region. The occupation of Palestine and the genocide against Palestinians continue systematically. Look in Gaza, before the eyes of the entire world, 73,000 innocent people have been killed. This atrocity continues both in terms of the killings themselves and in terms of the inhumane isolation imposed on the population. The genocide continues. Having carried out what he calls the bloodiest genocide in human history, Israel also attacked Iran. Not content with that, it simultaneously began occupying Lebanon. Despite the reactions of regional countries, especially Turkey, Israel refuses to withdraw from Lebanon and continues its military operations there. Since October 2024, the number of people killed in Lebanon has reportedly reached 3,700, while the number wounded has reached 11,400. At the same time, Israel is said to be engaging in covert efforts to destabilize African countries and the Mediterranean region. The Zionist administration has become, in his words, a source of constant unrest and provocation across a wide geographical area. Unfortunately, the world has not shown the necessary reaction to Israel's policies disregarding rules, law, principles, values, and boundaries. Under its current government, Israel has become increasingly emboldened. It has become not only a threat to the region, but a threat to humanity itself. Israel, Syria, Lebanon, and Turkey. The attacks carried out by Netanyahu and his government against Syria and Lebanon have reached a point where they threaten not only those two brotherly countries, but also Turkey. I want everyone to understand this clearly. Syria and Lebanon are independent and sovereign states. But these two states are also part of Turkey's geography of affection and brotherhood. Damascus and Beirut are sister cities of Istanbul. Turkey's security does not begin only at Hatay. Turkey's security begins in Aleppo. It begins in Damascus. Turkey's security begins in Beirut. We will not tolerate any fait accompli in the countries of our brothers and sisters. We will not turn a blind eye to any attack against them. Now some people and those who encourage them come forward and issue threats against Turkey from various places. There is no need for you to say these things. We already know your intentions. We know very well what objectives you are pursuing. We are fully aware of the ultimate goal behind what he calls the Greater Israel vision. God willing, we will never allow it. We now see attempts to ignite a new fire of discord in the Mediterranean, particularly on the island of Cyprus. We are following developments very closely. Certain small actors, whose ambitions greatly exceed their actual capabilities, have boarded what he describes as Israel's boat of provocation. They have undertaken the role of subcontractors for Zionism. They are pursuing unrealistic dreams in the Eastern Mediterranean. Let me state this very clearly. No one should go looking for adventures. No one should attach themselves to the Zionist machinery of massacres. If Turkey's rights and the rights of Turkish Cypriots in the Eastern Mediterranean are challenged, then let it be known that our response will be very clear, and it will be very firm. Dear friends, Israel is taking advantage of the silence of the international community and is preventing our region from achieving comprehensive peace